around, are they?
No!
Okay, and he only bombed like, what, 5 or 6 people? 5 or 6. See, there's no way on the internet, I tried really hard, but there's no way on the internet to track down how many human beings were murdered by John McCain. But when you look at the overall operation, which is called Rolling Thunder, 67, 68, and a little bit of 69, I think, it resulted in, and this is the CIA estimate, so it's probably really low, no less than 77,000 civilian casualties. That doesn't include the human beings they said were enemy combatants or whatever they called them back then. But so, he was part of a thing that killed 77,000
3 million
humans.
total! 3 million total!
And so I don't know about you, but I don't know if that makes him a hero or not, but I think it certainly makes him a mass murderer, right?
Yeah!
He's a mass murderer. So I'm not here to endorse anybody, but I'm definitely here to tell you that you should make sure he doesn't get elected by whatever means you decide to do that, which might be voting or shooting or whatever. I don't really care, but just so long as he doesn't get elected. Because I tell you what, the last time, well, the time before last, I went on tour, and I really tried to push home the message, you know, that that we can't have another re-election, you know, in 2004, and I just found it astounding. I found it really astounding. Just totally unbelievable that it happened, you know, that it happened. I couldn't fucking believe it. So anyway, I think there's still people urinating, so I'm going to go on a little bit more. This summer I had the privilege and honor of accompanying my wife and a number of other school teachers from Northern California on a Teaching American History trip. And we went to this, Boston was kind of the center of the abolition movement for a long time, and there was this awesome museum that I went to, and I got this book. And there's like all these crazy ass details in this book, and it's all about how the North was in on slavery and how most of the slaves came in, and then Rhode Island and New York City and all that other stuff. And I was like, wow, okay, there's this and this and all these details, and I gotta keep it all straight in my head. And then the fucking author of this book throws out the most fucked up sentence, and I'm like, how could I have been so dumb to never realize this? Which is that, okay, right, the Civil War was to end slavery, right, but it wasn't, right, okay, But, okay, here's the most obvious thing in the world, and nobody ever thought of it for some reason. If the North wanted to end slavery, they could have just stopped buying the cotton. Ooh, oops, okay. I don't know why I never thought of that. I think they endlessly repeat other things. Okay, wait, I found some other good stuff on my travels. This was, what is this? Press Democrat, Tuesday, August 12th. This is a couple days ago before I left to come down here. I noticed that one of the big things, you know, that they try and say in order to get McCain elected is that there's just too much taxes, too much taxes, too much taxes. It's bad for business, and then poor people don't get jobs. And so we can't have, you know, they're going to have more taxes, so we can't have this. We got to have less taxes, less taxes. And this is from the General Accounting Office of Congress, United States. I think I can just read the headline. It pretty much speaks for itself. Most U.S. firms don't pay taxes. So 2/3 of corporations in the United States over the last 7 years have had at least 1 year where they pay no taxes at all. So I don't know how you lower taxes below zero. I think actually I do know, now that I think about it. It's called a subsidy. You give the money, even though you don't charge them taxes. Okay, what is this one? I found this one, I think yesterday. Oh no, I found this one when we were on the Teaching American History trip. See, here's the fucked up thing. They kept talking about, well, this guy was bad, that guy was bad, you know, but the Civil War and the end of slavery redeemed the nation. And I just felt fucked up because I'd wake up before everybody else and I'd go up to the room where our free breakfast is, and this black dude would be like, "Sir, here's your breakfast, sir." And like I'd have to sneak around so he wouldn't take my plate to bus it, so I could bus it for myself. And I'm like, slavery didn't fucking end? I mean, what is this? I can't even stick my plate in the thing. He's like, "No, sir, let me get that for you. How was your day, sir?" I'm like, when did he stop being a servant? I don't know. But anyway, so I was up there getting breakfast one day, and I realized, you know, I don't know why this didn't get big news, because, you know, it was a big deal. Are there weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, right? That was a big question. It was a big deal. And it turns out that they found them. Did anybody see that? They found the weapons of mass destruction. They're in, where is it? No, they're in Alabama, actually. There's so many chemical warheads in Alabama that they're having a hard time destroying them all before 2017.
They're in Huntsville.
Huntsville, right. And I guess it's only news because some people who live by the train tracks don't want it going down the train tracks near their house. I think the people are probably almost done peeing, but so in the meantime...
Thank you, man. We're done.
Okay, you're done peeing. Well, I'm going to tell this story before everybody gets loud. So can we turn the lights on? And if you feel like sitting down, could you sit down? And if you have bad knees, can you grab a chair? That'd be awesome. And I'm going to put this microphone away because I don't want to be the loudest guy in the room, even though I'm going to be anyway.
So,
I'm so sorry.
No, I hope it stays like this.
Oh, right, it's up. Now I'll be real quiet and I won't have to scream, and this will be grooving. Thank you.
So, once upon a time, I was 16 years old, and in order to continue doing the band Crim Shrine, like my parents saw the suicidal video institutionalized, and they thought they should lock me up, or they didn't really, but that's how I like to think about it. And so they sued the city of Berkeley, and they set up this thing legally, and they got me actually literally on a hedge diving charge. And so I was supposed to be put into a residential facility for a year and a half. And I guess the point I'm trying to make is I've been involved in this music scene a long time, and I almost don't regret anything. But the one thing that really fucking bummed me out, besides, you know, all my friends getting strung out on heroin and dying, the one thing that really fucking bummed me out is that they told me when I was going to be institutionalized. And so me and Aaron and Pete made a plan for me to go hide in San Francisco in Johnny Hill's basement. And his real name is Terrence, of course. But in order to do this, in order to pull this thing off, so I split before I'm supposed to go, I had to not make an issue about, I wanted to go see 7 Seconds about a weekend before I was to split. And in order not to fuck up the plan, I had to just sit at home. And so that's my primary regret. So, wait, okay, and there's the full, yeah, okay, so here's another good one. Maybe I won't even play any music, this is awesome. One day, I took some LSD and I went to Jesse's house with, I don't know who else, him and Jake and somebody else, and all in one sitting, I heard 2 records for the first time, and one was Axis Bold as Love by the Jimi Hendrix Experience, and the other one was Out of Step by Minor Threat, right? And they're both like, they seem so diametrically opposed, but I was like, wow, this is great, and wow, this is great. And then, later on, I was like in Salt Lake City, and I was talking to Ian MacKaye, and he was talking about how Machine Gun is his favorite song, and I was like, that's really fucking weird. But anyway. So since I obviously have Kevin's attention right now, I'm going to play this song real quick, because I think he might know something about this. So this is a book by Lita the Wrestler right here. Okay, so let's see, where do I start? One day when I was a freshman, a girlfriend and I were browsing at the pet store in the shopping center right next to the neighborhood. It was around Easter, blah, 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 blah. And they bought some ducks, right? The deal was I'd name one and my friend would name the other. I immediately named mine Kevin after the singer in 7 Seconds. My friend tried to name hers after some poet. It was a long, unwieldy name, so I said, forget that. His name is Troy, after the drummer in 7 Seconds. Okay, so I'm going to But so basically, some dogs, a dog gets to those ducks and fucks them up, right? So that's the end of those ducks, and she gets some other ducks, excuse me. Let's see, where are we here? Okay, my mom put Kevin and Troy in a plastic garbage bag, and I had to bury them. I couldn't lift the bag knowing they were in there. It freaked me out. I just couldn't do it. I dug a hole, and Jake picked up the bag and put them in. Not long after that, I decided to get replacement ducks. I named them Jeff and Aaron, after Jeff and Aaron, singer and drummer of Crim Shrine. Unfortunately, Jeff and Aaron, the ducks that is, weren't nearly as cool as Kevin and Troy were. They were more like wild animals. They didn't come to me, they didn't like being picked up, they were just ducks. Also, I think the novelty of the whole duck thing had worn off for me. I probably didn't pay as much attention to them as I had to Kevin and Troy. Maybe I didn't give Jeff and Aaron a fighting chance. I was like, come on, do your duck tricks, and they didn't do anything. And I said, oh, screw you then, and I put them in the pond. So, anyway, I don't know if I don't know if I'm too old and if you guys aren't going to recognize this, but I think somebody will, at least the old folks will. And we do seem to have some old folks here. So anyway, this is a song about how one day I went to a liquor store and picked up a magazine, and boy, did it just blow me away. Let's see here. And it's not Steve Miller, believe it or not. Does she walk? Does she talk? Does she come complete? My Georgia, Georgia roadie, we'd always save her a seat. She was pure like snowflakes, no one could ever stain. The memory of my roadie could never cause no pain. And years go by, I'm looking through a wrestling magazine, and there's my Georgia roadie ripping out some lady's spleen. My blood runs cold, my memory has just been told. My roadie's in a stranglehold, my roadie's in a stranglehold. My blood runs cold, oh yeah, my memory has just been sold.